Hey guys, it's me Maj from Engines and Idiots. Today we're going to be discussing 5 of the most influential engines of all time. I'm considering influencement. Okay, I'm just going to consider which engines are most influential based on historical significance, modern uses, and all-around significance in the car community. Now, this won't be in any specific order. It'll just be a quick list, and it's nothing really big for that matter. It's just which cars left a huge mark on the car community as a whole. The Toyota 2JZ. The Toyota 2JZ engine is a 3-liter inline-six produced by Toyota from the early 90s and continued production until the mid-2000s. The engine had 3 different variants: the 2JZ GE, the 2JZ GTE, and the 2JZ FSE, the most popular of which was the 2JZ GTE. Now, this engine was a successor to the M-Series engine by Toyota, which is featured in the American version of the Mark III Supra. The 2JZ engine, on the other hand, is best known for its application on the Mark IV Supra. The reason this engine left a huge mark on the car industry as a whole is how often it is used in applications for engine swapping and drag racing. This beast of an engine was making roughly 321 horsepower, and it was turbocharged with a Hitachi-made turbo. The engine was practically bulletproof and made huge horsepower gains, up to 1,700 horsepower, and doing a 5.94 second quarter mile at 240 miles per hour. For those of you who don't know what that means a car with this engine inside ran a quarter mile in 5.94 seconds and hit 240 miles per hour in those 5.94 seconds. Yeah, wow. That's faster than my 0 to 60, like shit. This engine is just ultimately glorious. It sounds amazing, as does any inline-six. At the end of the day, this engine not only leaves an impact on the drag community, on the drift community, and the JDM community, but it leaves an impact on the entire car community as a whole. The LS series. For those of you who have been tuned with the car community for years, you must have heard of the LS engine. The LS engine is a series of small block V8s that have been produced by GM from 1996 to the present day. These engines range in all different shapes and sizes, but maintain one thing: the loud, the sick, and the mean V8. Now, there are many different types of LS engines, ranging from the LS1 to the LS2 and many, many more. The main thing about this engine that really stands out is its small and compact nature. It's a V8 that can easily fit inside of a 240SX and maintain low weight. This engine is also dirt cheap. You can find some examples ranging from $2,000 to $6,000. It's insane. You can't even go wrong with an LS swap. People these days swap these into Miatas and 240s and so many more cars, and everyone thinks it's completely fine. I've even seen one swapped inside of an RX-8. Like, jeez, a dude bought a rotary, put an LS7 inside. That's practically sacrilege, and people still thought it was cool. You can't go wrong with an LS swap at all. The price, performance, aftermarket scene, all of it. It's just amazing. I think that's why this engine is just going to be one of the most influential engines of all time, and I think people are going to continue swapping these into their cars for years to come. The Nissan RB26DETT. The Nissan RB26DETT is a glorious engine put inside of the Nissan Skyline R32, R33, and R34, which is another inline-six making roughly 276 horsepower. Now, this engine is just as popular as the 2JZ. It has many different uses in the modern day. Many people use this engine to engine swap outside of drift cars, drag cars, or whatever it may be. This engine is just as reliable, just as tunable, and just as well for horsepower outputs as the 2JZ. It can be good or bad based on application for its linearity on horsepower delivery, in the sense that its horsepower delivery is very linear. It's very straight. It can be good or bad for your application. It's up to you, right? Now, another very good thing about this car is it's practically bulletproof. The engine with stock internals, like no forged pistons or anything like that for the matter, like with just turbos and stuff like that, it can get about 600 horsepower-ish, somewhere around there. That means without anything done to the engine itself, just to other parts, replacing other parts and stuff like that, you can get about 600 horsepower, and that's great. you can almost triple the stock horsepower numbers without too much money being spent on other parts. And again, it's a great car to engine swap anything with. You can get this engine with the transmission for about 5,000 to 10,000 depending on the miles. The Ford EcoBoost. Well, I was debating what my fifth entry should be. I wanted to put a VR38 DETT or a K20, but I wanted something newer and something that wasn't Japanese, because most of these are Japanese, but oh well. Well, let's talk about the EcoBoost. Man, the EcoBoost is an engine, and it is an amazing feat of technology by Ford. You can cry all you want about how the Ford GT is only a V6. You can cry all you want how it's just a 3.5 liter V6. It's the same size as an Acura TL Type S. It's the same size as this, that. I don't give a shit, because you know what? It is an amazing car. It is making 647 horsepower from a 3.5 liter V6, and it is competing with massive twin-turbo V8s from McLaren, V10s from Audi, V10s from all these other amazing car companies like Lamborghini or other. It's just outstanding how a V6 is so good. It was competing in Le Mans. It's insane, you know? I know they put the tech of EcoBoost in many other cars like a 1.5 liter Fusion and stuff like that, right? But my point is that the technology in the EcoBoost engines are amazing, and there's a great feat of technology before. I actually want to see where these engines are going to go in the near future. Let's just hope it's for the best, because Ford, they need to fix their game up. The Mazda rotary Wankel engine. Yes, the Wankel rotary. The rotary, the Dorito. Let's just talk about it. The rotary is different from all other engines in general. Most engines have pistons and stuff like that, but the rotary is way different. It has a rotor that kind of like looks like a Dorito, and it rotates in like an oval, kind of like a Kinder toy egg thing, and there's a stick that goes through it, and it spins around. It's confusing. You should just watch Engineering Explains video on it. He explains it much better. I'll put the link up here. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm new to YouTube. Just trust me over here, okay? Well, anyways, this engine is just great. Let me tell you about the advantages here. It has a better power to weight ratio. It's a small engine size. It hits higher RPMs. In fact, it's even recommended to hit higher RPMs. There's fewer parts, therefore it's cheaper to make, and it makes a ton more horsepower for a smaller size. Oh boy, just listen to the engine purr. So now you might be wondering, Imad, if this engine is so great, if it's so cheap, and it makes such great horsepower gains, why isn't it popular? Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's been banned from many racing events. Like Le Mans, it's banned from there. It was. It's not banned anymore. And that's mainly because Mazda ended up, racing a rotary car there, and they destroyed everyone. So, yeah. But that's not just the only reason. There's other reasons, like, let's see here. Dog shit fuel economy. In fact, I'll upgrade that to ape shit fuel economy. They're so unreliable because no one knows how to change simple seals. But no. I digress. Another thing is that it has high emissions, but screw the environment, right? But in all seriousness, these engines are just horrible to deal with. Look at Rob Down. He has his custom-made RX-7 with a custom-made motor imported from New Zealand, and it sounds glorious. It makes sick horsepower gains. It blows fire like crazy, but it breaks down every single video. The last video I saw at the time of typing this up, it broke down twice in one video. At the end of the day, this engine is amazing, but awful to live with on a daily basis. So, yeah. At the end of the day, these are all great engines. They sound amazing, feel great, and I think they all have impacted the car community in one way or another. So thank you guys for watching Engine Idiots today. I'm Imad, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, I'd like to point out that I said I was going to post weekly or bi-weekly, but I guess we'll just post until I guess we'll just post based off how long it takes me to make videos. I mean, I want to have a weekly schedule, but I'm swamped with school and stuff, you know, school sucks, and I have school to do, so yeah, I'll catch you later, bye.